Look at the scales on it, beautiful, fully scaled. What a lovely fish.
Hiya, we're at Lyons Gate today and we're hungry. It's lunchtime. I'm going to knock up a Thai green curry. I've got all the ingredients, as you can see, laid out in front of me here. Should take about 20 minutes start to finish. We've got a proper cooked meal. We don't have to go home tonight, we don't have to cook, we can just have some snacks tonight. So proper meal outside. I'm going to show you how to do it. We have spring onions. I'm trying to keep everything as simple as I can because we are by the water's edge after all. We have garlic, we have lazy ginger, and we have lazy chilli. By rights in a Thai green curry we should have green chilli, but hey ho, we're not going to be perfect today. We've got coconut milk, fresh coriander, chicken and fine green beans. We've also got some spinach we're going to put in there. And then we're going to cook rice. This stuff, rice in a bag, perfect by the riverbank. Really convenient. Okay, first things first, we're going to cut the spring onions. They don't take too long to cook, so that's why we're going to use those in the Thai green curry. Just roughly chopped. No big deal. Trim off the roots and the trim. Okay, one of the biggest discoveries for fishing is one of these. We just keep it in our fishing bag. We have our exclusive cooking bag over there, which we keep all our basics in. We cook breakfast with this. You literally just light the gas and spray it on. That's enough to lubricate the pan, and of course it's quite healthy because you're not using too much fat. Okay, next we're going to light the stove. We've got our fat in it. We're lit. We're chucking the spring onions. Doesn't matter if we make a mess because we're outside. On the garlic. Break off a couple of cloves. You can determine how strong you want it. A couple of cloves is usually just enough. And we just literally press on the back of the knife and then just pull the skin off. Okay, just press it, that breaks all the fibres, and chop it down. That's going in the pan with the spring onions. Okay, lazy ginger and garlic time. The joy of this, you just take the lid off and lift some out. I don't like it quite so chunky as that, so I'm going to chop it down a little bit. Same with the garlic, chilli, sorry. A little bit of chilli. It's quite hot, this stuff, so just a little bit. You can adjust it according to what you want, depending how much of a hothead you are. You can see we've got a spring onion, chilli and garlic going on the go there. Now we're going to chop the ginger, sorry, I can't talk today. I'm only doing that because I don't like big lumps of ginger when I'm eating the meal. Okay, then that just goes in the pan. This is when all the smells start to get really good now. There we go. Right, we have our pan. Everything's in there. That's our basic spice mix. There'll be all the flavouring in there. Next we have our fresh chicken breast. I've got 2 between 3 of us, which should be absolutely fine. There should be enough there. We literally, I mean, you could coat, if you've got loads of time, you could just leave it whole, but cutting it into small pieces is going to speed the whole process up. So nice big chunks. If you're really health aware, you can just strip the skin off there. Elvie's picking up scraps. Okay, and then the next chicken. As you see, we've got the little helpers. So just chunky rustic dice should be just fine. Next, that goes into the pan. We're just going to seal that until all the chicken around the outside is all sealed off and you don't see any raw chicken just around the outside. Okay, we've got our chicken sealing off. We're going to get those spices moving around in the chicken now, which is going to give it all that lovely flavour that we want, that's so characteristic of Thai curries. You see everything's starting to caramelise. We want to seal off this chicken so it all looks like this piece right on the outside. So just keep moving it around until it's sealed. This gives it so much better flavour all the way around. And we'll do that for about 5 minutes until it's all sealed. Right, well this is cooking. As you can see, we're starting to brown everything off. We've got the kettle on with the hot water because we want rice with this meal. That makes the whole thing complete. So we've got water in the kettle on, we've got the chicken browning. Next will be the coconut milk. Smell is fantastic off of this now. I should think we're the envy of every fisherman on the lake here now. So there's not much breeze and the smell's wafting. We're going to add the coconut milk. This is one of my favourite bits. We've just used a tin, but you can get the powder and just dilute it with a bit of water. No big deal. But for convenience sake, this tin does the right amount for the 3 of us. So we're just going to literally whack that in there. And as this heats up, that white bit will all break down and dissolve into the chicken. Okay, we have some antibacterial spray here. We may be on the bank and still get cross-contaminated and give ourselves tummy ache. So, anti-bac spray straight onto the chopping board where all the chicken has been cut up. I've just simply got some wet wipes now just to wipe everything off. Okay, kettle's coming to the boil, not before time. We have curry just about starting to come up to the boil. We're going to turn that off now. And over here we've got my boil in the bag rice. 3 of them, we do 1 per person. Just going to pour over hot water. You're looking for about double water to rice, which is hard to monitor in there. So plenty of water, really doesn't do any harm. Then we literally put the lid on and relight our gas, which this one won't do very easily. There we go, we're in business. Right, the rice goes on. In here we keep a little cruet set in amongst. You'll see we've got the little tools that we use from every time we go fishing. In one end of this we have pepper, which I need a little bit in my curry. And in the other end we have salt, which that definitely needs. And we have some in the rice. Okay, next, fresh coriander. Love fresh coriander. That finishes off that dish perfectly. We're not going to add that to the end because if you add it now, despite the fact that you could, you'll end up with real khaki coloured coriander, and we don't want that. We want it to look green and vibrant in amongst the coconut milk. So we just roughly chop that. It's not a big deal because it'll wilt down once we put it in the pan. But if we get all the bits ready, as you can see, the curry's bubbling no end now. That's all there is to that. Then we're going to do the fine green beans. You can leave them whole. They're already trimmed, look, top and tail. I quite like them in half. That's just personal preference. So in half, the whole packet. This is going to go in the last few minutes of cooking because they really don't, I mean, you can eat them raw and they're nice crunchy. They really make the texture in the curry. Okay, we're about 6 or 8 minutes into the curry now. As you can see, it's boiling its head off. All those flavours mingling into the chicken and soaking in. It's going to be fantastic. We need to have a quick taste, make sure the seasoning's alright. But that's because I'm a chef and I'm really critical like that. So we get a taste. Spot on. We don't need to do anything else with that. Just leave it cooking for a little longer now. The sauce will thicken. Everything all joined together really nicely. You see our sauce is thickened. We've got the beans in, which are now done. They've been on the go for a few minutes. Now chuck in this lovely fresh coriander. That all goes in there. Can't have too much of that as far as I'm concerned. That's all going to go in there. And flavour the final part of that homemade Thai spice that we've just made, really. There we go. The other addition that I like is a little bit of spinach. This is ready washed. And I just chuck in a bit of a handful at the end and steam off on the top. That'll wilt right down and adds an extra dimension and vegetable that of course is really good for you. In here, the rice is done. See the bags? They're now complete. It's just a question of draining that off. 1 bag per portion. and then we'll serve our curry. Right, as you can see, spinach is wilted, it's perfect. Beans are cooked, chicken's cooked, rice is done. We're going to plate this up. Smell of this curry now, you would want to eat that. I think everyone around the lake is feeling pretty peckish now actually. Hot noodles just won't suffice, I reckon. So, rice out the bag, onto the plate. Perfect rice. Okay, then we just turn the gas off. And we're ready to serve. Who wouldn't want to eat that? I hasten to add out while this is going on, I have been fishing. You'll see the alarm next to me here, or you may have noted it. It's probably the first time that I've cooked and I haven't had a screaming run. But look at that. Fantastic.